Welcome. Today we begin an exploration of rest, recovery, and why on earth these things have been devalued so much recently. The world has become an overstimulated and under-recovered place where we all seem to be struggling with this epidemic of burnout and exhaustion, yet everyone still sort of struggles on despite themselves. It honestly feels like you can't turn around in a room without bumping into an article about burnout and breakdowns now. So what's going on there? Now, there's no doubt that there are circumstantial effects at play here. I'm not going to pretend that the pandemic didn't have an effect, but I would argue that rather than being the cause, it served to accelerate and compound an issue that was already on the rise anyway. If I had to pinpoint what I believe is at the root of all this, I would say it is an issue of values. Something that I've been really interested in over the last couple of years is hustle culture, specifically how it's been trending super toxic, particularly in the space of coaching and self-help of late. Oh yes, we're going there. And please know that words cannot describe how few f**ks I give about the feathers I'm about to ruffle here, because this is too important. This is ruining people's lives. It goes something like this. You should always stay hungry, never settle, never be satisfied, always be striving for more. These are usually also accompanied by sports cars and super expensive watches and all that wank that pulls you in, but then also leaves you feeling like absolute crap for daring to be a mere mortal. Now, do I have a problem with people wanting to strive to achieve things? Absolutely not. Not only would that be super hypocritical of me given what I do for a living, but straight out, I think it's fantastic for people to want to achieve the things that they dream of. It is the relentlessness of hustle culture that I take issue with. It is how hustle culture coaxes you to make it part of your identity that I take issue with.
Every day I'm hustling, every day I'm hustling.
Hustle can be something that you do, and maybe even something that you do really well. But when it becomes something that you are, this presents a really big problem in the moments when you feel that you are not willing or able to hustle. Hustle culture pushes this idea of always striving for the next thing and never being content with where you're at, no matter how far ahead you may get. If you look closely, there is also a tendency for comparison here. This sort of undertone that you somehow become more elite than others because you adopt this lifestyle. So suddenly being super busy, exhausted, run into the ground becomes this status symbol that people use to obtain worth. And then we wonder why people are getting burnt out. So the part that hustle culture never explains is where this is all headed long term. If we follow the yellow brick road, never settle, always be hungry, etc., 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 what does the end of your life look like? So you spent your whole life scrambling for the next thing, just to prove to everyone else that you had more grind than them. And suddenly you're on your deathbed and you never got around to enjoying anything that you had. Is that really what you want your last days to look like? After many years working in palliative care, Bronnie Ware wrote a book about the 5 top regrets that she observed in people who were in their final days. Incidentally, the number 1 regret was, I wish I'd had the courage to live a life that was true to myself and not a life that others expected of me. Now, if that hit you right in the feels, you may want to go check out my Power of Saying No series after this. More to the direct point though, this is what number 2 was. I wish I hadn't worked so hard. The remaining 3 were about friends, self-expression, and happiness. Note that there's nothing there about wanting to hustle more. There's nothing there about wishing that they had a yacht or had heaps of money, got up at 4 a.m. to then post about it and let everyone know how much tougher than us they are. None of that. All of the top regrets were about connection to the true self and to those who matter to them. We are communal beings. We crave connection above most other things. And you don't get connection by shaming other people about how much more grit than them you have.
You keep using that word. I don't think it means what you think it means.
A few pointers to have a think about if you're starting to feel a bit attacked by all of this. Remember that your life is your own. And no matter how much you may hustle and make a big old song and dance about everything that you're achieving, everyone else is focused on their own life. ponder what you actually want out of life, but not in terms of shiny things. Specifically consider this. How do you want to feel about your life as it starts to draw to a close? Also, and this one can get a bit spicy, who are you outside of your output? These are just some of the topics that I'm going to be exploring over the next couple of weeks as I unpack recovering the value of rest. I hope that you'll join me then. Peace out. An issue that was already on the Oh yes, we're going there. And please do not forget my words, damn it. I was gonna make a really brutal point and I just went woof. Oh yes, we're going there. And oh my God, why can't I remember this? It is with how hustle culture Funnily enough, sticking to the script is a good idea. Alas. I don't know, just fart or something. I'm sure we'll figure it out.
Before, my anus is not tight enough.
Oh, you should have clenched more. You're getting too lean. It's not struggling to get out anymore now. It's like... Oh no, I can feel a giggle loop coming. Spend your whole life scrambling for the next thing, always trying to get ahead. And suddenly you blank out mid-sentence. Incidentally, you're breathing too aggressively. Incidentally, the number one regret was said to... Why do you put words in that aren't there, Susie? The remaining three were about friends, self-expression, and happy... Loud birds. I was getting it too. I can feel another burp coming. It's like stuck here. Say the alphabet, see how many letters in I can get. John once got to L. We are communal beings. Wow, that was the biggest mental blank of something I just read 5 seconds before. Specifically consider this. Wow, this is gone.